Dawg House podcast time again. Great return guest, Eric Boggs from the College Huddle and the Ohio podcast. We talk about, is it championship, national title, or bust for the Ohio State Buckeyes? And we talk about the potential expansion of the 2014 college football playoffs. Not a big fan of it, but we will see. Make sure to like and subscribe. In Columbus, there's been some coaching staff changes in the offseason and kind of want to see where you guys are at. And then the other question, is it national title or is it going to be a disappointing season, or is it we want to beat Michigan for the second straight year? What will be the goals there?
Yeah, you're hitting on the topic of discussion every offseason with Ohio State fans, that's for sure. Let's start with the coaches first. Arthur Smith gets brought in as offensive coordinator, joining Matt Patricia as defensive coordinator. So we have two former NFL head coaches as our coordinators. That was by design. Ryan Day purposely waited to make an announcement following the departure of Brian Hartline to go down the same route with the offense that he has gone down with the defense with Matt Patricia. And so it feeds into the whole recruiting pitch that they're giving these young people that, hey, if you want to get to the NFL, you want to be developed and be a first round draft pick. You want to see your name called in the first or second round of the NFL draft, then you need to come here and be coached by not only the best position coaches in all of college football, but by two coordinators who were head coaches in the NFL can help you get there. So it's all part of a recruiting pitch, a narrative that Ryan Day has tried to orchestrate and create there at Ohio State when it comes to recruiting young people. And it seems to have worked pretty good so far. He even went as far as recently on a radio program saying, if you don't have aspirations to be a first or second round draft pick in the NFL, then Ohio State's probably not the place for you. I mean, that's just throwing it out there to people like, hey, that's the kind of athlete we're looking for. So I think those coaching changes have been, although, losing Brian Hartline seemed really bad at first, given all his success in recruiting wide receivers over the years and developing them. You go down, you get Cortez Hankton. I mean, you guys know who he is, and from LSU, and he seems to have just picked up right where Brian Hartline had left off. They're able to go ahead and secure the recruitment of Chris Henry Jr. in the 2026 class, and he has been outstanding. He absolutely shined in the spring game. He looked like another Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. I mean, that's who he reminded me of, was Marvin Harrison Jr. And all of a sudden people are thinking, gosh, if you can throw him out there with Jeremiah Smith at the same time, you pick your poison, right? I mean, at that point. So it seems to be all systems go from that perspective. Arthur Smith is being brought in to try to help the running game. It seems at times last year the running game really was lackluster. I mean, it was just very unexplosive. Thankfully, you did have that passing game, Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis. But I feel like that's been one of the main things he's brought in is some different running concepts and some blocking concepts that we haven't just haven't seen at Ohio State in a while. They've been relying more on just raw talent in the running game, and now it's like, hey, we can do some things to create some mismatches. We saw it during the national championship run in 2024 when Chip Kelly was using that to his advantage, creating mismatches and doing a lot of pre-snap movement with the offense to put the running backs and pulling guards in situations where it was one-on-one, and now we go. So hopefully we see more of that as opposed to the whole zone blocking scheme. Just, hey, make sure you get a guy and get to the second level, and then the first guy you whiff on, and next thing you know, the running backs, trying to just get back to the line of scrimmage. So hopefully that gets fixed. Yeah. What was the second part of that question? After the coaches?
Yeah, is Is it national championship or
Oh, yes.
or disappointment?
Okay. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Here we go. Right. So there is a very large and vocal portion of this fan base that believes if you don't win a national championship, the entire season was a waste. It was a disappointment. Um, I'm one of those guys who says, man, if you can't enjoy the journey on your way, then what are we really doing? And unfortunately, it feels like that's the kind of the way of college football in general with the college football playoff. If you don't make the playoffs, your season's a waste, right?
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, you and I both run podcasts for teams that are more times than not going to get there because they're just better and they have a passionate fan base that makes sure that the bar, those expectations are that high. And if you don't meet those expectations, regardless of who you are or what you've done for us in the past, you're going to hear from us, right? And to put that pressure on the athletic department to either fire or light a fire under the coach's butt. So, yes, to answer your question, yes. However, the expectation has changed slightly. Ohio State hasn't won the Big Ten since 2020.
Wow.
No one seems to care.
Yeah.
It's all about getting the playoff.
That's right.
So, and what we've even discovered outside of Indiana last year, playing in your conference championship and winning actually has been bad for you when you go to the college football playoff because you get a bye and then you get beat. So Indiana is the only one who's kicked the trend. So I don't think that we're, as a fan base, too many people are necessarily, I mean, sure, some of them are like, man, let's go win the Big Ten. And we wish we would have won the Big Ten last year as opposed to losing 13-10 to Indiana. But it's not the end all to your season because the goal is to get to the college football playoff now. Now, is it if you lose the Michigan on your way, but you still get there, does it sting? Yeah. But 2024 proved, again, that's not the end of the world. You could still go win a national championship. And although some people will say it doesn't mean as much, it sure means a lot to me. I mean, I'm still celebrating it 2 years later. I'm sure you're celebrating your back-to-back national championships still. Absolutely, right? No one can take that away from you, regardless of what happened against Florida or Tennessee or any other your rivals along the way, right? So I look at it like this, like, do we want to win the game? Yeah. Do we talk about that game 365 days out of the year? Yes, we do. But I'll be honest with you, that game has changed a little bit. It just doesn't have the same be-all, end-all because it doesn't anymore. It used to be if you were going to go to the Rose Bowl and you were going to compete for a national championship, you had to beat Michigan. Michigan had to beat you. That's not the case anymore. And so it's devalued it slightly, it feels like.
Yeah.
What I'm really interested in is the day when Ohio State will play Michigan, not only at the end of the season, but possibly in the college football playoff. That would be wild. That would be wild. But until then, I just feel like if you had to tell me, are you willing to trade a loss to Michigan for a national championship? Heck yes. Sign me up.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Kind of on the opposite of our end, we've won the SEC the last 2 years, but had an early out. So I was even hoping we would even bypass it this year. It kind of just happened. It's like, all right, we got to play an extra game. The only good thing last year was with Alabama. We finally beat the hell out of them, which was great. But then we had an early loss against Ole Miss in the playoffs. But
Trey, do you think there'll be a day when you go to the SEC championship game and you're like, this is just an exhibition, I'm going to play the backups? Like, I honestly think that could be a possibility.
Yeah. That was going to be leading to my next question, but they answer that question possibly because what got me this year is, all right, we won the SEC championship game. We were ranked third. Alabama was ranked ninth. Didn't help either one of us. when they did the playoffs rankings. We were there at 3, didn't move up, won the SEC championship game. Alabama didn't go back at all, stayed at 9. That's what I was mad about. And we both lost early on, but so what was the point of it? I mean, we kind of just held serve, as they said.
Yeah, it didn't make sense, number one. And of course, there was, you have Notre Dame fans who are like, here we are 10-2. We can't even play in that game. And Alabama goes and gets beat. And it's like, well, shouldn't we be in over them? I understand where their angst came from. You got Miami, who ends up going to the national championship game, who didn't even play in their conference championship, but yet they're the ACC champion who gets in, or over the ACC champion, excuse me. There's a lot with that college football playoff that is screwy.
Yep.
And it's one of the reasons why I feel like as long as there's not college football playoff people or college football people in charge, you're going to continue to get bad decisions made for college football.
Yep, agree with all that. And then one last little thing. Thank you to Indiana. Again, I didn't want to say this. Carson Beck, no Heisman Trophy, no national title, and he throw a pick to end the game and lose the national title. All is good in the world. So that's what I liked about, hey, Indiana.
Ouch.
About them.
Ouch.
And, hey, third round going to Arizona. Cardinals, good luck. Can you see them a little bitter?
I get it. Because here's my thing. Here's my thing, Trey. This is what I tell people. I get sick and tired of someone hitting the transfer portal and they'll say, thank you to my time. Thank you to Ohio State for my time, blah, 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 blah. But, God and has decided to lead me elsewhere, whatever. And then you'll see all these apologists in his comments. Good luck. We'll be rooting for you. Thank you so much. No. That is not how this goes. Like, I have stopped cheering for you as soon as you took off my jersey and you put someone else's jersey on. I do not have to be nice to you. I do not have to root for you. You are no longer a part of as long as you're a part of the team, I'm rooting like hell for you. As soon as you go to another team, I'm done. Like, I do not have to root for you, man. So it blows my mind how people are like, oh, good luck. No, I could care less, man. Yeah. Like, I love that, that you said, you know what, Carson Beck, screw you, man. Yeah. Like, I love it. That's what this is all about. That's what makes college football special.
Exactly. Hey, like I said, you're either a dog or you're not. You're all dog or you're not. That's what I say.
Or you're a Buckeye.
Exactly. You guys feel the same way. Let's say Jeremiah Smith took a bag of cash and went somewhere else. Be like, well, I was a Jeremiah Smith fan, not anymore, but yeah.
I mean, that's exactly like I have a Jeremiah Smith jersey hanging in the closet over there. I wear it for during telecasts of games and whatnot. If he were to leave, I would never put that jersey back on.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to because he's, he wanted to be a Buckeye, wants to stay a Buckeye. And it's the unfortunate world in the day and age we live in college football. But that doesn't mean I have to automatically just go with the flow with these guys. Like, no, you don't have to do that. Like when Quinn Ewers left Ohio State after coming grabbing a bag for 1 year and going to Texas, like, I'm not going to root for you. Yeah. Like what makes me want to root for you? Like, screw you. I'm glad Sawyer strip sacked you and took the ball back and left you in the dust, dude. Like, of course I don't have to root for you, Quinn. Come on, man.
Yeah, I agree. One last question, and when do you think it'll happen? Is when will it go to 16 team playoffs, or do you think it's going to be 24 and maybe win? Because
listen, I hope it's not 24. I know
that's a lot.
That's too many, but there's so much money in this thing now, and these athletic departments are trying to survive. Like, I don't know how many varsity sports Georgia's got. Probably somewhere around 20.
Right.
Ohio State's got 36 varsity sports. We have rowing, fencing. We have pistol. We have a pistol team.
Wrestling. We don't have wrestling, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah. So wrestling's big here in the Midwest. That's a big thing here. But
Yeah.
like they are trying to figure out a way to keep all 36 varsity sports, and it's one of the reasons why I think Petiti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, is so adamant on trying to add more teams, to add more revenue, because he has these schools like Ohio State where the football program flips the bill for, pretty much 34 other sports. Basketball is the only one that breaks even, makes a little money depending on how good you are. Everything else at Ohio State is a loss. And the football program is paying for the rowing team. They're paying for the gymnastics team. They're paying, for the lacrosse team and the field hockey team and the tennis team, and they're paying for all of that. Well, now that you have to pay players, and if you're going to stay competitive, you're going to have to pay those players a lot more. And I was telling everybody, it's kind of like a snake that's biting its own tail when it comes to football. It keeps eating more and more of that pie up, and there's less of it to share with the other sports. And so Ross Bjork, the athletic director at Ohio State, he's going to have some tough decisions to make. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think he's going to have to cut some varsity sports. They'll have to go down to the club level. And I don't think there's any shame of that. I think that's just the reality in which we live. And of course, Title IX has a big part of that, because as soon as if you cut one women's sports, you're gonna have to cut a men's sport with it. You can't, you can't be unequally yoked, as the saying goes. So I think we'll probably move into 16 teams in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think if we go to 16, we better stay there.
Right. I
don't want to see 24. I think that's just watering down the regular season. Yep. I mean, at that point, if there's 24 teams and you do not make the college football playoff, it's automatic fire. Like, there is no,
yep.
Hey, man, get in 2 out of 3 years or 3 out of 5 years. If you don't make it at Ohio State or Georgia in a 2014 playoff, you are automatically canned. That's crazy. That's insane. I think 16's too many, to be honest with you, Trey.
Yeah.
And I have, for the longest time, thought they really screwed this thing up when they did not make the conference championship games the first round of the playoff years ago. Back when we had 14 playoff, that it should have been an 18 playoff, where the conference champions, those are your 8 teams that are getting in there. And what about Notre Dame? Screw Notre Dame. Join a conference, dude.
Yep.
Sorry about your luck. Join a conference.
Mm-hmm.
What about the FCS teams and everything? Listen, I love Cinderellas, but let's be honest. They're never going to win one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we shouldn't say never, because look at what Indiana did. They were basically an FCS team.
Yeah. That's Cinderellas you can get.
but they're still a Big Ten. They're still a Power 4 program. So,
I agree.
And there's a reason why Signetti left James Madison and went to Bloomington, Indiana to coach the Hoosiers. So I think we're going to 16 in probably 2 years. That's my guess.
Okay. I like that too. I like that better than jumping from doubling it up. So I'm with you on that. Yeah, Eric, appreciate you coming on. And how can we follow the Ohio podcast and College Huddle?
Yeah, just go over to YouTube. It's the OHIO podcast over on YouTube, and the College Huddle on over there on YouTube as well. If you go to theohiopodcast.com, that goes to our Patreon page, where we do a lot of things behind the paywall, rumors and special interviews and shows where we take the gloves off, and we don't have to worry about the YouTube algorithm. We can just say and do what the heck we want over there. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's where you can find us on all the socials: X, Facebook, TikTok, all of them. We're there.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Getting close to that 8,000 on the Ohio podcast and getting close to 3,000 on College Huddle. That's awesome.
We're almost there, buddy.
I'm out over there. Yeah, appreciate you coming on again, and it'll be getting close to that summertime and counting down to college football. Can't wait.
like 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna have to start making all those graphics from 100 down to 0. So it's coming on us,
Yeah,
and
man.
we always start what we call two-a-days, where we
Okay.
preview all the Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
We start that in June now because there's 18 freaking Big Ten teams.
Oh,
So
very
like
nice.
those previews are now just right around the corner. So it's almost here.
It's getting close. Can't wait. And if you're still around, make sure to like, subscribe, share the Dawg House podcast. Appreciate Eric coming on. Thanks again.
Thanks, buddy.